as well. And let's get started. So I welcome you. And I need to figure out, okay, there we go. So for those of you who already don't know me from other courses you may have taken here at Rutgers or spoken with me in the past, I wanted to familiarize you just a little bit to get started with how this program fits into the larger offerings that Rutgers Business School offers. So I think about this in the context of RBS as a whole, and then how this fits into our marketing programs, and then how it fits into our larger suite of online programs. So for those of you who don't have an educational background here at Rutgers, we are the #1 public business school in the Northeast. We have a dean who's been dean for the past 6 years or so, who has really helped our school and supported our growth into higher and higher in the ranking. So what started off as a New Jersey and has grown to Tri-State and then has grown to Northeast, we are looking at the horizon. So we're very, very serious about being a very leading business school, and actually we're the largest business school in the whole Big Ten. And so it's very difficult to make such big strides with such a large school that spans 2 campuses, an undergrad and graduate, and we're very proud of the strides we've made. And I joined Rutgers Business School on the full-time faculty in the marketing department about 5 years ago. In terms of marketing, we have a lot of success both as a marketing department for undergrad and graduate, and we also have, some of you may already be familiar with our executive education mini MBA programs in digital marketing and social media marketing, integrated marketing communications, and some other areas that are relevant to our program. And those certificate programs from an executive perspective are so well regarded and well known that corporations do some private sessions with us, and we also have open enrollment sessions. I teach in those programs as well, and some of you may know me from there. And this new Master of Science degree actually was born out of the need we heard from those executives finishing the certificate program, who said, you know what, this is great to have one course, but what can we do next? We want more. And so we started brainstorming ways to help that continuum of learning for executives who wanted a true graduate degree in digital marketing. And we decided to make it online because, first of all, we're teaching digital marketing, and why not make it an easy translated process for people who want to be more comfortable with digital or who already have some comfort with digital. And also it would make it be more flexible and fit into people's lifestyles much easier. And then finally, because we've had some success with our online programs. We have a really good infrastructure here, production studios and top of the line, instructional designers and processes and ways for us to really bring this learning to you all in a really effective way online. So we were ranked number 17 in terms of all of our online graduate programs. In our supply chain program that's been around for about 5 years, it's ranked number 6 in terms of supply chain programs in the country. And our online accounting program has been around for, I want to say, something like 25 years. It's one of the original 1990s online learning programs, and that's ranked in the top 10. So like I said, we're joining a nice suite of RBS, of marketing programs, and of our online degree programs that we're really proud of. So moving on, where did this come from? I mentioned that executive education alumni were telling us that we want more, but more importantly, not that you guys aren't all important, we saw an industry demand for this in terms of the employers. So I come from 25 years in industry before I started teaching, and I have a strong network in the digital marketing industry, and I've been hearing from that network for years that they need more qualified people who really know their stuff. And what's more interesting more recently is that it's not just digital marketing jobs that want digital marketing skills. We live in a digital world. We are constantly connected to our phones everywhere we go, not just to brands that we do business with, but also to each other. So the way we make decisions, the way we learn about new products and services, the way we do our shopping processes, the way we fully approach our relationship to brands has completely changed. It's 24/7, and it comes with us everywhere. As a result, even traditional marketers need to understand digital. Studies have told us that about 60% of all marketing hires are being asked to have digital marketing expertise in their toolbox, but only 19% of candidates are actually showing up with those skills. If you look at these two charts on this page and the previous page, and they do this for you here in this graphic, digital marketing has the biggest gap between supply and demand in terms of all the skills employers are looking for and the candidates having those skills. So we saw this. We've spoken to the industry and employers, and we've spoken to graduates of our alumni of our executive programs. We've done industry surveys and realized there is a big need for this, and we feel very specially qualified to be able to fill that need. So this was completely born out of being relevant to industry. A specialty master's degree is intended to give you specialized learning to make you more relevant to the job market. Rutgers Business School currently has, before this one launched, currently had 11 specialty master's degrees. This is our 12th. They're all much more singularly focused around one specialty as opposed to a more general MBA program. It also takes a lot shorter, less of a time commitment, less of a financial commitment, and it's more directly translatable to a specific job function and a job within a specific industry. So I've mentioned this is driven by industry need. It was prompted by student demand. I mentioned the program is online. Just a little bit more about that. It's asynchronous, which means there are no mandatory live sessions that you need to be available for. It's meant to be really flexible for you. And it's also meant to be flexible in terms of how long you take to finish. So if you're somebody that is in between jobs and you really want to get this degree and you want to focus on this and then get a job in digital, you can take as many courses as you like and you can finish within a year. If you're someone who's working full-time and this is something you're doing a little bit more casually, you can take one class a semester or skip a semester. You have up to 8 years to finish. Okay, so within that time frame, you don't have to stay with a cohort. You don't have a prescribed number of courses you have to take every semester. So you can do it in as quickly as a year or as long as 8 years. But although it's asynchronous and although it's flexible and although it's online, we didn't want to make it fully individual. So what we've done is we've made each course paced together as a class. PACED, P-A-C-E-D. So what that means is that every week, each class will have a specific topic we talk about that week. There are deadlines. For example, Wednesday might be add a discussion comment to the discussion board, and by Sunday you might have to hand in an assignment, and in between there might be readings and projects and case studies or whatever that you might work on. You can work on those things whenever you like up until the deadline. So the idea is that even though you're asynchronous, I'm somebody, unfortunately, that will go online at 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm a student and finish things kind of after everyone else has gone and gone to bed and I'm quiet in the house. But whatever works for you in terms of logging online and doing the assignment is fine. But we do stay paced together on a weekly basis at each class so that we can learn from each other, so that we can do group projects, so that we can increase our interactivity about topics, so that you can stay engaged in the courses and feel like you're learning from each other as well as from me and from the material. The idea is that it's an ongoing sort of, I don't want to say a replication because it's actually completely built from the ground up. It doesn't duplicate what happens in the classroom, but it is deliberately created to create engagement in our virtual classroom. So that's why we stay paced together each week. It is an AACSB accredited degree. And I think this is really important because in all of my research looking at digital marketing programs, there are a lot of them out there. A lot of them, however, are coming from schools of professional development or continuing education or communications. And I want to be very clear that this is a business degree. So it is rooted in core business fundamentals. It is being taught by people who teach MBA and undergrad and business school courses, and it is fully accredited from the accrediting body that accredits business schools. So I want to be very clear that I'm very proud of that and wanted to point that out to you. And because I've worked in this industry a long time and I now teach for about, I've been teaching for about 10 years, but full-time, this will be my 5th year, I want to make sure that these courses are as highly relevant as possible, that they're high quality, that yes, they're taught by professors, but they're taught by professors who understand the industry, and they're taught by industry leaders who are really good professors. So I'm making it my business to make sure that we are attracting the highest quality talent as possible, as well as the highest quality students. And I'm lucky enough to have one of those on the call, which I'll introduce in just a moment. Just to give you an idea of, you might recognize yourself as 1 or 2 or 3 of these. I'm just giving you an idea of the kinds of applicants that I've been seeing so far. This doesn't mean that there's not a 4th type out there that I just haven't seen a lot of yet. But when I think about the program, I was thinking about these 3 different types of audiences, and the courses are built for all 3 of these. So the first one are people who may have already worked in marketing, may already have a marketing undergraduate degree, maybe they even got their MBA, but it was a while ago and they didn't get the digital piece. They already work in marketing or have worked in marketing. They may, in fact, have 15 years experience in marketing or somewhere around there, a little bit more, a little bit less, but they never got the digital part. And these folks in this first group, the digital skill seekers, they are thinking about not being left behind. They're realizing that their jobs are changing, the marketing landscape is shifting. We're no longer doing digital marketing jobs. We're all doing marketing jobs in a digital world. So their skills need to catch up, and they need to stay marketable, and they need to stay relevant, and they need to know how to hire other digital people and know what they're talking about. So this first group are people who are looking for the digital skills to round out their marketing background. The second group is the marketing skills seekers. These folks are those who work in complementary jobs to digital marketing. They may, in fact, do some aspect of digital marketing already. Maybe they're a writer, maybe they're a programmer, maybe they're a digital advertising operations person, maybe they're doing e-commerce fulfillment. So they kind of see a piece, but they never got the fundamental marketing foundation. They don't really have the context for the marketing part. They know the digital slice that they work on and how it interfaces with marketing, but they don't exactly have a bigger picture of what marketing is and all the things that the marketers think about and where their role fits into the bigger picture. So this program is also built for people who might have some of the digital skills, but not the foundational marketing in a digital world. Okay. The third group are basically people younger in their career. They may be a couple of years out of school. They may feel kind of comfortable with their digital skills. They've been kind of brought up on social media. They may, in fact, be social media coordinators at their companies. But they want the graduate degree, and they want a graduate degree that's relevant to what they want to do. They don't necessarily want to get the full-on MBA, but they want to have the rooted in business, digital marketing, MS, so that they have a credential that can help advance their career. In addition, because they may only have 2 to 5 years experience is usually where I'm seeing these folks, they may not have a full picture of what digital marketing is. They might know their slice and be comfortable with understanding more, but they want it in context. So this third group tends to be less advanced in their careers than the other two groups. But like I said, I'm sure there's other, you might identify with a piece of some of these, or maybe you come from a different angle. I'm looking forward to hearing where you're coming from. The program that we've built is intended deliberately to be able to accommodate all three of these. So what does that curriculum look like? We've intentionally built the curriculum around two separate buckets. The first bucket is the foundational marketing stuff, but it's modernized for our digital world. I always say there's no such thing as digital marketing. I know that's very ironic because this is called a digital marketing program, but that's because I'm a digital marketer and that's what you all would search for to find a program that you like. But really, it's just marketing, right? But we have this constant connectivity to each other and to our brands all the time. So strategic marketing in a digital world is an updated view of those core MBA marketing kinds of courses, such as customer journey analytics. No longer are we just talking about web analytics, right? We're talking about the whole customer journey and how do we assess how we're doing and where are our benchmarks and where's our starting points and where are our goals and how do we know if we've achieved those goals. Consumer behavior in a digital world, new ways that consumers make purchase decisions and gather information, and not just consumers but also B2B as well, decision making. Marketing research in a digital world, so a marketing research foundational course, but modernized for the digital tools that we use in our marketing research. Retail marketing in a digital world, this would cover everything from the way our in-store selling has changed with the addition of digital, as well as e-commerce and omni-channel retailing. Digital marketing law, policy, and ethics. I'm sure we're all aware of cases that digital marketing has completely changed the way we think about basic business practices and the way we communicate with our audiences. And then finally, digital marketing strategy. This is an update on our basic marketing strategy course, making sure that we're focused on companies who are primarily thinking about digital strategies. The next bucket of courses are the specific tactics and tools around digital marketing. So this is a lot more of the less foundational, the less baseline marketing. And these are the specific tools and tactics that you want to feel like you're expert in when you leave with a degree. So mobile marketing and innovation. This is sort of the catch-all course for all of the new stuff that's coming and how we think about as marketers incorporating new platforms, new technologies, new ways of communicating with our audiences. Digital advertising and promotions, of course, is the operations, planning, strategy, execution of digital advertising campaigns. Social media marketing is looking at social platforms from a marketing perspective. Content marketing is how we tell stories and how brands have become marketers through their content in acquiring and retaining and engaging their customer base. And search engine marketing, both on the paid search side, on the SEO side, the organic search side, and all of the strategy in between. This Intro to Digital Marketing course is the baseline foundational course. If you qualify for advanced standing because perhaps you've taken graduate credits in another program, including if you've taken our mini MBA program in digital marketing, you may qualify for advanced standing to not take this foundational course. But this we would ask, there's no method to which courses you have to take when. I mentioned that you could do it as quick as a year or as long as 8 years, but we do ask that this Intro to Digital Marketing course, if you don't qualify for advanced standing, that you take that your first semester. Beyond that, We ask that you take your digital marketing strategy at the end, at your last semester. Other than that, the rest are free for you to take as you want throughout, I guess in combination between your interests and when we offer them. But our goal is to, offer ample courses that people need to take when they need to take them. Okay. So a little bit more about the curriculum. It requires 36 credits or 12 courses. I mentioned advanced standing. If you've taken relevant graduate level coursework, you can qualify for up to 6 credits of advanced standing. So if you've taken 2 mini MBA programs, or you have taken 2 other courses that are worth 3 credits each elsewhere, you may only need to take 30 credits with our program. I already mentioned that you can complete them as soon as possible, or up to 8 years. I have already mentioned the online asynchronous but pacing with the class. It's taught on the Canvas learning management system. So basically the way you access the course is just through a web browser. You can download the app as well, and you can access the course through an app on your phone. But the writing and assignments may be a little bit more challenging to do on your phone, but certainly discussion groups and looking at your grades and things like that are all available through an app or through a web browser on your desktop or your laptop. Wherever possible, and this is probably going to be in about 90% of the courses, the course itself is designed to be as relevant to the industry as possible. So we selected course topics that the industry told us was important to them, but we also are working with each instructor to make sure that they're teaching it in such a way that's most relevant to the industry. So in other words, if you're taking a customer journey analytics course, you will leave that course doing customer journey analytics. So you will leave that course with a basic understanding of Google Analytics. If there is a certification available through the vendor or through the technology platform of a specific course, for example, we might use Tableau for marketing research. We might look at Hootsuite for social media marketing, HubSpot potentially for content management, for content marketing. Whatever the tools are that we introduce into the course, it will be integrated into your assignments. As part of this program, we hope that you'll actually have your own personal or business website that we can help you build, even if it's a simple one, so that you can actually get hands-on experience with doing search marketing and doing content marketing and doing analytics measurement on your own site, so that you're leaving with a graduate degree and you're also leaving with a whole suite of certifications that you can then take to industry and take to your jobs. And again, not for the sake of busy work, but for the sake of what the industry tells us they're looking for candidates to have. So the intention is to be as relevant as possible to industry. And I mentioned that I am making it my personal business to make sure that we have the highest quality instructors. And one of those is actually on our call right now. I'll introduce you in just a minute to Mark Burgess. He is teaching our content marketing course, which you can see down here. This is one of the 3 courses that's available to us, to you guys this fall. Customer Journey Analytics will also be available this fall, as will the introductory course, Intro to Digital Marketing. The plan for rollout is that we're rolling out 3 courses per semester for 4 semesters. So the only thing limiting how fast you can complete this program right at its initial launch is that we're offering 3 courses per semester. So if you're someone that says, I want to finish this within a year, we can't offer you 5 classes this first fall semester. So that might be 15 months if you wanted to start now and do it as fast as possible. You might have to wait that 15-month period to be able to get the classes in that you need, depending upon whether you qualify for advanced standing or not. But I can walk you through, if you have specific questions like that, I can work with you with your needs. I mentioned this is a brand new program. If you were not aware, when you launch a program at a state school, it's even more requirements of approvals and reviews. It's gone through a lot of due diligence, this program. So it's gone through all of the normal channels in terms of our faculty, our board, outside reviewers, industry panel. It's gone through a lot of people. This program has been vetted. The final vetting when you're a state school is actually the governor of the state. So we received state approval in just the middle of May. So we've only really been talking about this program externally in a big way since May. So this program is literally hot off the press. So we have been talking about it just this summer as far as summer semester is concerned, and we're launching this fall. So you can imagine that things are a little bit busy right now, and that's why we have these 3 courses rolling out, and then we'll have 3 subsequently for the 4 semesters. Okay, so I mentioned the fabulous Mark Burgess, just to give you a little bit of a deeper introduction. He'll be teaching our content marketing strategy course. He has taught for RBS before, and I hate to speak for him while he's sitting on the call, but he is more well known probably than for teaching at Rutgers for being a co-author of a best-selling book, of being a TEDx speaker, of being a very prominent industry trainer for the AMA, and he's the president of his own consulting, content management and marketing consulting firm called Blue Focus Marketing. He's held a lot of prominent roles at large marketing companies, and and he's also been an author of our own in our own journal. That's a peer-reviewed journal here at Rutgers Business School. So we are very, very thrilled to have Mark Burgess on our faculty. He and Blue Focus Marketing have been, and what his TEDx talk is about in his book was about the social employee. So think about this. When you have a large company with a big social marketing presence and you have customers talking to you, one of your biggest groups of influencers are your employees. So this idea that you can leverage your employees to be a mouthpiece for your company and kind of give up some of that control, but let the organic happen and let that powerful tool be very strategic is a really great observation. So we're very, very thrilled to have Mark Burgess on our faculty and on this call. So please feel free, if you have questions, you can direct them to me or to him. The next instructor I wanted to highlight is our Customer Journey Analytics course. This is being taught by Madhvi Chakrabarty. She's the full-time Rutgers Business School professor here. She has her PhD. She is very acutely focused on the data and analytics and technology side of digital marketing. So she has extensive background from the industry in AI, in machine learning, in AR, VR, blockchain use in business. She holds patents in terms of knowledge organization and visualization and analytics. And she's been teaching this course on-site in our classrooms for several years. And now she's working to bring that course online and also customize it for this program. So we're very excited to have Madhvi involved in this program as well. And then finally, here's me. I'm teaching, you're sick of looking at me, you know you get to see me again twice. I mentioned I've been here at Rutgers for full-time for the past 5 or 6 years. My industry experience started with the birth of the internet. So I was one of the first employees at DoubleClick. I was the 11th employee at DoubleClick. I got lucky and started with a startup that became a big defining pioneer in the digital advertising industry. And then I worked in various roles as marketing, general marketing with a focus on digital, or digital marketing, both on the nonprofit side as well as on the for-profit side. Before joining Rutgers full-time, I was a learning consultant for the IAB, which is the Interactive Advertising Bureau. That's the trade association, the member association for digital media companies. And I built the industry certifications for digital media salespeople, for digital ad ops people, for data management people. And basically, it was the first time the industry had this seal of approval that said, this person is qualified to sell to me. It won't be a waste of my time to meet with them because they understand the industry well enough. And when I went through that process is when I started realizing, wow, the industry is really hungry for this. Employers, some of the hiring managers don't know digital themselves. So they don't know how to hire digital people. And for them to have this stamp of approval, or fast forward a few years, an MS in digital marketing, that gives them so much more assurance that this person is not just making stuff up that I don't understand. This person is actually really qualified, not just understands digital, but also can put it in the context of the basic marketing fundamentals modernized for a digital world. So that's where my orientation is from, that I know that businesses are hungry for these qualifications. Okay, so what does it take to get in? The admissions criteria are listed on our site. I put them here for you as well. You need to have an undergraduate GPA of 3.0 or better from an accredited university or accredited college. I don't say with a hard cutoff that you need to have 2 years work experience, but I will say that we are looking for some professional experience. We don't want you to come necessarily straight out of undergrad with no internships and no professional experience and no ability to apply this to the real world, because we want to make this as relevant as possible to the real world, and we want our students to learn from each other. So we do want to make sure that you're able to put yourself in a case study situation and be a strategic thinker and really apply this as relevantly as possible to your career. And if you don't have any work experience, it's hard to do that. We have 3 essays that are part of the application. I don't have a minimum page requirement for them. I get that question sometimes. But I would say they average between 1 to 2 pages. Maybe, 1 page is fine. Some people will go a little bit over. Basically, we want you to answer the question. So, whatever, I know students hate that answer, but, we don't want 5 pages probably, but you probably need at least a page to fully explain your response. We require 3 letters of recommendation. Those don't need to be from an employer. It would be helpful if one of them is from an employer at least, but it should be anyone that can speak to your professional credentials and your ability to succeed in a program like this. We do not require any advanced testing, GMAT or GRE. I will tell you it's preferred, and it's not that there's a preferred score, but it's just preferred that you have taken it. We actually don't even need to look at the score, but this is going to sound crazy, but there's accreditation reasons for it helping us, for us to say, yes, people who joined our program have taken the advanced, the GMATs or the GREs, but the score can't hurt you. So if you've ever taken it, even if it's expired, and you just can let us know you've taken it and send us your scores, the scores are not going to, hurt a good application. But we would appreciate knowing that you've taken it and having a record that you've taken it, okay? Because this is an online program, we don't get involved in any international student issues. We don't grant visas, and we do have a system, though, for evaluating undergraduate transcripts from international schools. Okay, so if you have questions specific to you about coming from an international background, I'd be happy to talk to you about that. Other things that you will definitely want to know is that the program is priced on a per credit flat fee basis. So it's $12.28 per credit. Multiply that by 3 to get to what one course costs. That includes all fees except for books or materials. So there's no extra, this kind of fee or that kind of fee that comes with a tuition. There's also no difference between in-state and out-of-state. So it's an online program. It's a flat per credit price, and like I said, except for your books and class materials, this is what it costs. So you take it slow, you take it long, you pay per credit as you go, okay? We accept people in the fall and in the spring. Now, I mentioned all of those admissions criteria, and I also mentioned that we just got approval for this in May. So we're aggressively trying to grow the program. So right now, we're being a little more flexible on things because I want to make sure we start with a nice sized cohort and that we get started strong. So although the deadline is August 5th for this fall, if you start your application before August 5th, I can grant you an extension to get it all in and final and your recommendations and all that stuff by August 14th, okay? So don't let the August date scare you off from applying for this fall. I am actively encouraging people to apply this fall. The admissions criteria will probably get a little bit harder and a little bit more stringent come spring. I really hope that you can consider applying for this fall if you're considering applying. If your official transcripts are not in by the 14th, that's okay. We can review your applications with your unofficial transcript. It's just a matter of getting your essays, your resume, and your letters of recommendations in by August 14th, which is almost a month away. It's about 3.5 weeks. And we would need you to just start the application before August 5th so that we're aware it's coming and we can extend you that deadline, okay? The spring semester deadline will be December 5th. And we have a website up where you can look at all of this information in detail. I will also share a video of this webinar with each of you in case you want to look at anything again or see any of these slides. And I'll just keep this slide up so you have my email address as well. So at this point, that will conclude my presentation portion, but I will be happy to stay on the line another 20 minutes. If anyone has any questions that they would like me to answer, they can just put it into the chat box and I can answer them verbally. Is there a maximum number of people per class? That is a great question. Yes. So I am going to the exact number varies per program. My ideal number maximum is like 24 students per class. I may in some cases need to go a little bit above that, but it won't be much above 24. Ideally, we're at 20 because I want to deliberately create those opportunities for engagement. And believe it or not, online teaching and online learning actually requires a little bit more engagement than an in-class does. It seems counterintuitive because it's virtual and you can go on a computer, but because you can't rely on body language and because you can't rely on scanning the room and seeing if the students are engaged, there's a lot of outreach that's involved. And so I deliberately want to keep the courses on the smaller side so that I can continue keeping that one-to-one, and all of our instructors can continue keeping that one-to-one relationship with each student going, and that students can get to know each other a little bit. So that's the answer for you, Deborah. In terms of tuition assistance, yes, I'm really sorry I didn't mention that. Thank you for saying that. When I send you the video of this deck, I will include the link to our financial aid office. There are financial aid services available through Rutgers University overall, and those are the folks I'll put you in touch with. They're the people who think about the graduate school for the business school and what kinds of financial assistance we can provide, or loans and things like that. We do not, though, have specific program-specific scholarships available because we're brand new. So, ideally, I am building this in concert with industry. We have industry leaders that are on our advisory group giving us input to our courses and curriculum and all of that. I would love to get to a place where we've grown and established ourselves and industry is helping to fund students, but we don't have that yet. So I will give you access to our financial aid office so you can pursue that on your own. Okay, next question. On the upcoming mini MBA program on 8/5, if we complete this course, does it affect the admissions process? So if you already have a mini MBA program, or, and I'm teaching actually in the one that's on the week of August 5th as well, as long as you complete it before the semester starts, you can apply those credits toward advanced standing and waive the intro class. It will not hurt your chances. But I would ask that you still start our application prior to that starting, because the August 5th deadline is the key. That ideally we have our applications already done by August 5th, but this extension is being granted to people who will at least start the application by August 5th. But it doesn't hurt you or help you to have the mini MBA program under your belt. The question is, would you recommend the mini MBA program? Yes. So the mini MBA program is a great program. You have a choice of either being on site for a 1-week intensive, Monday through Friday. You have 10 modules, 2 a day, so 3.5 hours with each instructor for 5 days. You have a capstone project with a team due at the end on Friday. Or you can opt to take the mini MBA program online. If you take it online, it's 1 week for 10 weeks, I guess. And you basically, you're seeing a filmed version of what we're presenting in the classroom, and you're doing your own capstone and your own assignments individually, on your computer. So it's like this program, it's a little bit self-paced, but not, because you need to be staying with the class each week, but you're free to do it whenever you want. And the mini MBA program is executive level, so and it's intense. So it's useful. People love it. They feel like they're drinking out of a fire hose. They get a big dose of digital marketing for that week or social media marketing for that week, and then they do that one project at the end. Because it's condensed, it's not as in-depth as our introductory class, but it is, people love it, and we definitely see the value in applying it to this program, because you're gaining introductory skills in digital marketing. So I'd be happy to put you in touch with the person that you could talk to more about the mini MBA program as well. Is there a cost to apply for the program? There is. You're welcome, Carol. There is, and I am loath to say the wrong thing. I think it's $70 or something little, but there is a admissions. I don't remember what it is. We go by what the admissions office is doing, so this wasn't me that created an admissions fee. I think it's around $70, and it's charged from the admissions office when they accept an application. Next question. Is there a preferred amount of time one should have in the professional world before thinking about applying? So I mentioned, this isn't a magic number, but in my head it's around 2 years. But like I said, you should have enough professional poise and confidence and experience to be able to apply this stuff to the real world. So some people might have that sooner if they've done a lot of internships and a lot of leadership. If you've done a co-op during college, you might feel that you have more professional experience than the average graduate who has 1 year experience, for example. So I don't want to make it like a hard 2 years, but my thinking is somewhere around the equivalent of 2 years experience. And I also mentioned that we're a little bit more lax for this first class because we're new and we, want to make sure that, the program launches strong. So we may in the future, I shouldn't say relax, but in the future we might be more strict. Let me put it that way. So there's a little bit more freedom now to accept people that might not exist a year from now. I'll put it that way. Any other questions? You're welcome, Aman. Happy to stay on the line if anyone else has questions. Oh, thank you, Carol. It's always hard to know because I'm talking to myself. Is it possible to get the deck? Yes. So I can share with you guys a PDF of this deck, and I can also, I'm just going to close that for a second because I don't know what that means. So Hillary, I can give you the deck, and I can share the deck with you guys as well as a video link to the video. The video takes a few hours to render, so it won't be instantaneous, but you'll see a copy of the video, and I can send you the deck, and I will also send you a link to the financial aid office, which I should have included in here. Oh, great. So I just got a private comment that the mini MBA program is really great, and yeah, so the mini MBA program is great, and this is absolutely inspired by that. So I hope that those of you that have that experience already know that that's my background as well, and we're looking forward to making this the best of both worlds, to have that degree and have the accreditation and also have the relevancy and the inspiration. So thank you very much. And if you have any questions for Mark Burgess as well, he's on the line as well, so you can feel free to chat to either of us. Okay, well, I look forward to seeing your applications. If you have any questions during the admissions process, there is a link on the admissions website that will go to our admissions department. They can answer general questions about the admissions process, about the qualifications, about the requirements, and I can answer the questions specific to this program. There's a question here about undergrad, if you've taken Intro to Marketing and Social Media Marketing. Yeah, so to qualify for advanced standing, it needs to be graduate level credits. So if you've taken a digital marketing course undergrad or a social media marketing course, you would need to take them again or have some other course, like the mini MBA or something like that qualifies for advanced standing, but undergraduate credits don't. I think there was a question about the money earlier that I missed. The $12.28 flat fee per credit, how many credits are required in total? So 36 credits are required in total, with a minimum of 30 if you're transferring credits from elsewhere. And like I said, that could be 1 year or that could be 8 years, or anywhere in between. I'll stay on the line till the last person leaves. So if you are leaving us, I really appreciate your time, but feel free to stay on the line if you have other questions. I'm happy to stay on till 1. You're welcome. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, everybody. I have a few more of you on. I don't know if you're still really there or just your browser's open, but feel free. I'll stay on until you're gone if you want to ask me any other questions.
Yeah, I'm hanging out. Yeah, can you hear me, Stacy?
I can.
Oh, hey. So, that was awesome.
Thank you. Quick question. Is there any possibility to conduct the online mini MBA program with my work team? So the online, I don't know if, Carol, I don't know whether the Executive Education Office does custom programs online. They do, because I've done one for a company before. But I don't know if they use the canned presentations that they have for specific companies. But Carol, what I'll do is I'll put you in touch with the person. Her name is Christina Murphy, and I'll put you in touch with her after this call. And that's, let me just make sure I write your name down. And Carol, what company are you with? I don't see it up here. Okay, Prudential, perfect. So I'll put you in touch directly with Christina because she's the program coordinator for the digital marketing program through RBSEE, and she can talk to you about your options, whether it's online or it's on site. So the way we work with companies is one of two ways. Either we create a custom program and you know, you would work with Christina to make sure that the content incorporates what you want to incorporate, and it would be more deliberate for you. Or you can purchase like a bulk number of seats, and Prudential employees have the ability to just easily attend one of these courses online or on site as their schedule allows, but that you're encouraging them to do it and that you're funding it. So, you know, sometimes when I teach one of these courses, there might be 25% of the people in the room are from the same company because that company has a relationship with us in our open enrollment, but it's like a corporate bulk arrangement. In other cases, a program is created custom specific to one company. So you know, then there wouldn't be outsiders there. So I can have you speak with Christina about those two different options. I'm happy to do that.